Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Lazy Bay Designs. On these tutorials, we are going to learn how to cut and sew two sisters puff sleeves for my 6-year-old girl. So let's get started. Okay, so the materials I'll be needing for the tutorials are tailor's chalk, tape measure, pins, ruler, lining pieces, my organdy fabric, and then my main fabric, that's brocade fabric. Okay, so I'll be folding the fabric into 4 pieces. I'll first of all fold it into 2 like this, and then later on fold it into 2 again, making 4 folds. So the measurements I'll be needing for the tutorials are bust 23, waist 23. So I'll be cutting bust 24 and then waist 24. Bust 24, so let's say waist 24 divided by 4 will give me 6 inches. So as you can see, I am marking out the 6 inches. So from the tip to where the 6 inches was marked, that's 5 inches. I'll take it to the other side, 5 inches. So I'll be taking 5 inches all round to cut the waist. Like what I'm doing. Okay, so dress length for my girl is 30 inches. And then shoulder to waist is 10 inches. So I'll be taking away 10 inches from the 30 inches. I'll be having 20 inches. So where the 6 inches was marked, yes, I'll bring it down 20 inches. And then I'll add 1 inches to it as my seam allowance or sewing allowance. So I'll be marking it all round. Like what I'm doing. So after marking out all round, I'll then cut out the waist and then cut out the hem of the flare as well. Great. So I'll be cutting out the waist and then the hem. Okay, so after cutting out, I will then divide one side of the flare. That will be at the back where my zip allowance will be. Okay, so the next thing to do is to cut out my lining pieces, but the lining pieces I'll make it hang in the skirt. So I'm about to cut the top. Bust 24 divided by 4 will give me 6 inches plus 2 inches allowance, making 8 inches. And then the length is 10 inches plus 1 inch, making 11 inches. So I'll be marking out the 11 inches on both sides. So as you can see, 11 inches marked. The width and then the length of the neckline is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I will then mark out my curve. Shoulder length is 3 inches. And then armhole length is actually 6 inches. But I marked out 6.5 because I will be sloping the shoulder line by half an inch. Afterwards, I'll mark my armhole curve. So this is what I'll be having for the top. I'll be cutting the same thing for the back, but I'll be leaving like 1 inch as my zip allowance for the back. Afterwards, I'll cut out. Now I'll be cutting my lining pieces for the top. But for the back neckline, I divided the front neckline into two, and then I cut out. So this is the lining pieces. Okay, so this is what I have after cutting out everything. I'm about to shape the front or the top. I'll then indicate my zip line before shaping. Okay, so I'll be placing the wrong sides together, as in making the wrong side faces each other. I'll then slope from the neckline to the underarm of the dress, like what I have done. Afterwards, I'll cut out, making it my one hand. Okay, so I'll be repeating the same thing on the lining pieces. Great, so this is what I have after repeating it on the lining pieces. I'll then place the lining pieces on the right side of each fabric. Go ahead and then sew down the chest line. I'll be doing the same thing for both front and then the back. Afterwards, I'll top stitch and then turn to the wrong side. Great, so this is what I have after sewing down my lining pieces to my fabric. I'll then fold it into two and then indicate my zip allowance. After indicating the zip allowance, I'll place them together and then shape it according to my client's measurements. With this one, I'll make right side faces each other like this. So I'll go ahead and then shape. The bust measurement is 23. I said it earlier on, but I made it 24. So I'll be maintaining the 23. Okay, so I marked out 11.5 and then I divided the remaining parts, that is 2.5 each at both sides. I then marked out, since it's the same measurement for the waist, I'll be extending downwards. Yes, I'll be extending it downwards. So the armhole is 6 inches. I marked out, I extended it downwards. I'll then go ahead and then finish the shoulder line as well. Okay, so this is the sleeves. Actually, this is my 1 yard of organza. I'll be dividing the 1 yard of organza into two because they are twins, and I'll be using the other half for the other twin. So I divided it into two. Like this. So the next thing to do is to divide the other parts into two also. Great. I'll then go ahead and then shape the armhole of the sleeves, like what I am doing. I'll then cut out. After cutting out, I'll go ahead and then run a garter stitch at the armhole. Afterwards, I'll create a casing at the middle of the sleeves and then double fold the edge of the sleeves and then create my casing also. So this is the top. after sewing down the allowance. I then finished the zip line. I divided the back into two and then stitched at the wrong side and then later on turned to the right side. Okay. After finishing everything, I also finished my shoulder line as well, leaving my armhole. Yes, so this is what I have after creating the casing at the middle of the sleeves and then the hem. And then this is my garter stitch. So I'll use a safety pin to take out my 2 threads and then try to pull through to create gathers. I'll pull through to create the gathers to fit my armhole. So this is it. I'll be inserting the elastic band to the middle of the sleeves and then to the hem of the sleeves as well. Great, so this is what I have after inserting my elastic bands. Okay, so I'll go ahead and then fit it into the armhole of the sleeves. Okay, so after fitting in, I'll go ahead and then sew all around. Great, so the next thing to do is to attach my flare to the top. Okay, so at this point I'll be placing the right side of both together like this and then pin down. Since the flare is bigger than the waist, I'll be creating some pleats at the side and side of the top like this. Okay, so this is what I have after pleating along. Okay, so the next thing to do is to place my lining pieces onto it, but this time I'm going to finish the waistline with the lining pieces. So I'll be placing the lining pieces onto the top area like this so that it finishes the waistline. It's also bigger than the waist, so I'll be pleating along. This is what I have after pleating along the waistline with the lining pieces. I'll go ahead and then sew down 1/2 inch. Afterwards I'll turn it down. Okay, so this is what I have after sewing it along. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then turn to the right side. Afterwards I'll be bringing both sides together, as in one side together to the other side like this to finish the back area. Okay, so I'll make sure the waistline matches. Afterwards I'll sew down, but I'll first of all measure from the back area downwards about 13 inches. That will be for my zip extension. Okay, so I'll sew down about 1 inch to the hem of the flare. Great, so after finishing the back, I'll then go ahead and then attach my horsehair, as in finishing the hem with my horsehair all around. Great, so this is what I have after finishing the hem with the horsehair. I'll then go ahead and then fix my zip and then do some finishing, like adding a bow tie or something like a strip at the sleeves or at the one side of the sleeves. So this is my puffy sleeve. Thank you all for watching my videos. See you all in our next video. Bye.